I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep and running out.
Hello everyone, James aka Boston Angst on Twitch here. I'm coming at you with a new video guide for the Wind Druid in Project Diablo 2. This build here wasn't my season starter, but it very well could have accomplished itself to be that. It's a fairly low budget build that has a very decent clearing capability with a lot of room for upgrades to improve upon playstyle with higher end items. I've found myself quite enjoying this build, so let me know what you guys think. To start off on the video here, I'm going to start by going over the skill tree and the different variations that you can run depending on your preferred playstyle. Going to start the skills section off with the elemental tree. We start the elemental tree off by maxing out Arctic Blast. This ability does very solid single target cold damage. This ability will be used to deal with pesky physical immunes that cannot be broken by a mercenary with amplified damage. Arctic Blast also receives synergy from Hurricane, Tornado, Twister, and Cyclone armor, providing a 25% bonus damage per skill level of Hurricane and 20% bonus skill damage per level of Tornado, Twister, and Cyclone armor. This is the first variance we are going to encounter in the build, where I put 1 point into Cyclone armor. Some players prefer to put more points into this for a higher absorption shield for fire, cold, and lightning. The second variance in the build comes along with Gust. I put 1 point into this skill. Gust is the mobility of your character through a teleport that chills enemies you teleport on top of. Some players prefer to put more points into this to shorten the cooldown of teleport. Another skill to be maxed out here is Twister, which is a group of small tornadoes that deal physical damage in a frontward area, providing solid damage for fast clears. This will be our main clear ability when not single target focusing. Twister also receives synergy from Hurricane, Tornado, and Arctic Blast, providing a 22% damage bonus to each per skill level. Yet another skill you are going to be maxing out is Tornado. Tornado will be your main single target ability, causing high physical damage towards a single target. Tornado receives synergy to Arctic Blast, Twister, and Hurricane, providing a 14% bonus per each skill level. The last skill we will be maxing out in the elemental tree is Hurricane, which is a massive AoE around your character that deals cold damage, slowing any enemies that step within the radius of your character, dealing a fairly moderate amount of damage in the process. Hurricane also receives synergy from Arctic Blast, Tornado, and Twister, providing an 8% damage bonus to each per skill level. For the next part of the skill tree, we are going to be looking at the Shapeshifting tab, which you will see that there are no talent points allocated, as none of the Shapeshifting talents provide any bonus for a Wind Druid. Wrapping up here in the third skill tab is the Summoning Tree. With the Summoning Tree, you're going to want the prerequisite of Raven. Raven is not going to be utilized in this build. It is just a prerequisite to get to Summon Direwolf. Summon Direwolf on its own, you also want to put 1 skill point into it. Basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a zoo of animals in front of you to prevent damage to your character. So what I normally will do is I will summon out my 5 Spirit Wolves. They don't have a lot of health, they die very quickly, but on the upside, they're very easy to resummon and they're very cheap mana cost. Direwolves. The same idea applies for Direwolves as it does for the Spirit Wolf. Direwolves, they also have a very low life pool, and you can only have 3 Direwolves out at a time. The entire reasoning behind having the Direwolves out is they act as a meat shield for your character, so they are receiving the damage that you are not. And Summon Grizzly, I personally like to put as many points as I can into this for remaining points to have a tanky Grizzly. that is not necessarily going to be the playstyle that everyone chooses. If you are looking for a more ideal party route, you can max Heart of the Wolverine, and you can provide damage and attack rating for your party. The higher skills you have into this right here, the more viable you will be for melee type classes inside of your party. And then the other option is you can get Oak Sage. Oak Sage you can add in, and what it'll do is it provides a life regeneration and life buff for your party. So you can use that for yourself as well. Some people choose to level up Oak Sage over the Grizzly, which also provides life for your summons. But for myself personally, I find that I like to level up the Grizzly. And it's just really a matter of opinion and what you like with the summon tree. There's a lot of variations. You just got to mix and match, and you got to find out what works best for you. Going to keep going right along with the video here, talking about the gear I am currently using and the options you have to use for this build. Weapon. For a weapon, I am currently using a Heart of the Oak Flail. I got a decent all resist roll on mine with plus 27 out of 30. This weapon shines well for this build, providing plus 3 to all skills and 30% faster cast rate. An alternative for this weapon would be a Spirit, which is a cheaper alternative until you can afford your Heart of the Oak Flail. Shield. For a shield, I am currently using a Spirit and a Monarch base. Spirit provides another plus 1 to all skills, and I was very lucky to make the rune word with 35% faster cast rate. The Monarch also provides 35% resistance to cold, fire, and lightning, a magic absorb, vitality, and mana, which are also useful stats for this build. My magic absorb didn't roll too great, neither did the vitality and mana, but the primary focus for this shield was the faster cast rate, as you want to try to stretch for the faster cast rate breakpoint. Helmet. Currently I am using a Ravenlore Sky Spirit, which provides plus 3 to elemental skills. My current helm is a high resistance piece that helps hit resistance caps alongside of other high resistance items. The Ravenlore I have has been corrupted with plus 5% maximum lightning resistance, as well as a higher lightning resistance. The helm in turn provides 39% to cold, fire, and poison resistances, as well as 54% to lightning resistance. I had put a puzzle box into this piece and threw in an all resistance jewel to make this item an absolute powerhouse for resistances. Alternative helmets. Jalal's main with a good slam would be an excellent alternative to Ravenlore due to the faster hit recovery, as well as a mana after kill, which would help guide you away from the need of having a mercenary with meditation aura. Quetzalcoatl is also another option. This provides a faster cooldown to Gust, which allows for much faster clears, as your ability to port around farming areas would be going much more quickly. Amulet. I currently have a crafted amulet. It is a skull emblem amulet. And this amulet was a beast of a craft, providing plus 2 to elemental skills, 10% faster cast rate, 14 all res, and was slammed 7% damage taken to mana with plus 3 life after kill. An alternative amulet would be Mara's Kaleidoscope. It's an excellent amulet that can provide some great stats for a Wind Druid, which is plus 2 to all skills, plus 5 to all attributes, and 20 to 30 all resistance, which is nothing to pass up. If you're able to slam it with faster cast rate, that's even better. Chest piece. I currently am utilizing Atma's Wail. Atma's Wail on its own, non-corrupted, is a very nice option for Wind Druids, providing 30% faster cast rate, 30% faster hit recovery, as well as defense based on character level, replenish life, and max mana. The Atma's Wail that I'm currently in possession of provides 40% faster cast rate on corruption, and I had puzzle boxed it with 2 open sockets, which I had placed 2 Ist runes in for better magic find potential, providing 70% magic find on a single piece of armor. An alternative chest you can use is a Kahagan's Wisdom. Kahagan's Wisdom is an excellent option for Wind Druids because it provides a chance to get +2 to skills, 20% faster cast rate, added energy stat, magic damage reduction, and mana after kill. Again, which helps lead away from the dependency of having a mercenary with the meditation aura. Gloves. For gloves, I am currently using Mage Fist Light Gauntlets, which provide +1 to cold skills, 20% faster cast rate, they regenerate mana of 14%, and they are slammed with cold resist 10%. For my first ring, I have a Shadow Grip Ring, which provides +10% faster cast rate, +4 to all attributes, 36 to life, and 29 to fire resistance. For my second ring, I have a Storm Coil Ring, which provides replenished life +8, 74 to mana, 33 to lightning resist, 11 to cold, fire, and poison resistance. It is slammed with cannot be frozen. It has poison length reduced by 25% and +3 to light radius. For my belt, I'm currently utilizing an Arachnid Mesh Spiderweb Sash, which provides +1 to all skills, 19% faster cast rate, slows the target by 20%, has an increased maximum mana of 9%, and a regenerate mana of 19%. A cheap alternative to this would be a belt that has both high resistances and a high amount of faster hit recovery. And the last piece of gear that I'm going over on my Druid here would be the War Traveler Battle Boots. The War Traveler Battle Boots provide a 25% faster run walk with +10 to strength and vitality. Mine were slammed with regenerate mana 10%. They have a 40% slower stamina drain. The attacker takes damage of 6, and there's a chance to roll between 30 and 50% magic find. My boots were sitting right at 31%. Going to start off the charm section by showing off the elemental skillers that I'm currently utilizing. I have a +1 elemental skills 31 to life, +1 elemental skills 34 to life, +1 elemental skills, +1 elemental skills, +1 elemental skills +4 to dexterity, +1 elemental skills +4 to dexterity, +1 elemental skills +2 maximum damage, +1 elemental skills +22% extra gold. For the elemental skillers, ideally what you're looking to have is faster hit recovery on those as well if you can find them. Myself right now, I'm at a very awkward spot for faster hit recovery. It doesn't seem to affect me too much, but there are times where I port into a pack of mobs and I will get put into hit recovery. So it's definitely something that you can do to cover faster hit recovery if your gear does not currently have that. I also have a Geed's Fortune Grand Charm, which is 114% extra gold, 38% better chance of finding magic items, and reduces all vendor prices by 12%. I have a Hellfire Torch with +2 to Druid skills, 60 vitality, which is a perfect roll, 11 to energy, 17 all resistance, and a perfect roll for light radius. I have an Annihilus Small Charm, which is +1 to all skills, 48 to vitality, 10 to energy, 17 all resistances, and 8% experience gained. For the other charm slots, what I usually do is I'll fill it out with magic find. So there are a couple here that are magic find, and then I have some resistances that I'm missing. So poison resist, and this last one here is also poison resist with 1 strength, just to make sure that I'm currently at the cap for my poison resistance. For stat allocation on the Wind Druid, I currently possess enough strength to be able to equip my gear as well as enough dexterity. Vitality is going to be your key component for your build as it provides extra life for your character. As of right now, I'm sitting at 1,261 life. And as you can see, all my resistances are capped, with my lightning res getting the extra bonus from the helm. And what I have currently as well is my faster cast rate breakpoint. I'm currently sitting at 163 for the cast rate breakpoint with 164 cast rate. As for faster hit recovery, I'm currently sitting at 42. You ideally want to be able to hit this 63 mark. I'm not quite there yet, but it doesn't seem to affect me too much with all the summons being able to take damage. There are a couple situations where I do find myself in a little bit of trouble, but not very often. And as for my magic find, I'm sitting at 199 magic find with my items as of right now. Start off the overview on the mercenary here. Ideally, you would want all ethereal gear. Sadly, that's not the case of my mercenary. My mercenary is currently rocking a Reaper's Toll Thresher. It has 202% enhanced damage on it, 11% life stolen per hit, and it was slammed for a 26% chance of crushing blow. He has an Andariel's Visage Demon Head, which had been slammed with extra resistances. The Demon Head provides 20% extra attack speed, has a max 10% life stolen per hit with the 2 all skills, and it also has a 15% chance to cast level 25 Poison Nova when struck, and he's in the front lines, so it does proc fairly often. I'm currently utilizing a Leviathan Kraken Shell, which I put a 15% IAS duel into, and the physical damage reduction on this is 30%, so it's a max roll on the physical damage taken reduction. Dracul's Grasp is 20% extra attack speed, and it also has normally an inherent 10% life stolen per hit. I had slammed an extra 2% life stolen per hit on it. And for the belt here, I have a String of Ears Demon Hide Sash. This also has an all res plus 4 built into it, and it's only 11% damage taken reduction, and magic damage taken reduction is 11. And I'm currently utilizing Gore Riders, which are 30% faster run walk, 15% crushing blow, 15% deadly strike, 10% open wounds. It's only a min roll for enhanced defense, but it has also +3 life after each kill. Another fairly expensive option for your mercenary is you can pick up the Act 1 mercenary, and you can get a 4-socket bow or crossbow, and you can put Wrath in. Wrath provides a 60% chance to cast level 18 amplify damage on striking. It has inherent 30 to 45% IAS built in. Deals 375% damage to demons. It has 250 to 300% damage to undead, 20% chance of crushing blow, prevent monster heal, and it also has cannot be frozen built in, which is a great pickup for a mercenary if you don't have cannot be frozen mercenary already. Okay guys, just a quick overview of what we're doing as we come in here. So we just zoned into the River of Flame. First thing we want to do is we want to throw up our Hurricane, our Cyclone Armor. We want to summon up our Bear, get our Wolves rolling through. And what you have an option to do here is you can throw your Heart of the Wolverine also. It's not required, it's just another mob for them to target at. The damage from your summons is very insignificant to your own damage, so you'll very rarely be utilizing it for that. River of Flame, I usually don't skip over River of Flame. I know some people will just go right to Chaos. See, that's the faster hit recovery that I had talked about, where kind of I get stuck into a position where the faster hit recovery kind of just kicks my ass a little bit. Until I hit the full cap for my faster hit recovery, that's going to be a problem. But as you can see, the clear speed on this is extremely efficient. And I'm utilizing twisters as stated before for the multi-target AoE. So until I engage with the boss, I'm going to be using twisters as my main target ability. I do use Gust as my right click to be able to pour it in, and it does slow the mobs as well as the cyclone, as the hurricane. So you basically have two sources of damage that provide a slow on top of the arachnid belt when it's the tornadoes come out. Now, as you can see, the mercenary here, he's proccing amplified damage. Another set ring there. Or unique ring, I should say. I have one of my inventory currently when I was messing around with stuff. So here's a cold immune. He was a physical immune. Physical immunity was able to be broken there. Every so often, what you may want to do as well is, if you saw what I just did there real quick, is I reapplied the cyclone armor. So the cyclone armor did fade away. So that just quick recast provides another damage mitigation. So if you look, it's 505 damage that can be mitigated from spells. So it's definitely something that you want to keep your eye on. You can see the animation there, it's kind of swirling about my character. Once that fades off, it's not really the most ideal position to be in, because you do take a lot of damage. This build isn't exactly the most tanky build out there. So we'll identify the stuff towards the end. Well, we'll identify it a little bit sooner. So we got a Nagel Ring, only 21%. And then we got a Dwarf Star also. I'll keep the Dwarf Star, I'll get rid of the Nagel. Kind of a Junk Charm. That's a Junk Charm. Just go through this stuff real quick here. Clear up some space, be able to pick up some other items here. So as you can see, we're just able to get right back into it. I'm able to hold my own in something like this. I can kind of take a break if need be. You have the mobs there tanking for me. I did lose a wolf, which is gonna happen. Ideally, you'd like to have the full wall of mobs, but every so often they will die out. They do have a very low HP pool. So as you can see here, all the mobs are just kind of melting. It's about where everything should be for this build. It's very strong, like I stated before, and you can kind of put yourself in harm's way a little bit. Because as you can see, the damage absorption from the cyclone armor is still on there. So now what I do for the single target is I switch to tornado. So for Diablo here, I'll kind of position myself over here. Tornado is kind of a little weird because it paths pretty terribly sometimes, but as you can see here, having no issues with the pathing this time around. See how I lose a bit of my summons there, but Diablo goes down as you should. I'm going to wrap up the video here with a Baal run starting from Worldstone Keep level 2, so you guys can see the Druid's efficiency in being able to do runs like this. So I'm going to start self-buffing up here, getting my summons out as per the normal. And I'm going to get right into it here. As you can see, these big packs, they're no problem for the Wind Druid at all. You can kind of just put yourself into the danger zone and have no problems with it. We'll just skip right to the next level here. We're at Worldstone Keep level 3. So So these are physical immunes, but this is where the perk of having the merc and the port is nice. So I can port right on top of the merc here, and the merc is instantaneously breaking their physical immunes. So I come right in on top. The cold damage is already going through because they're not immune to cold, they're immune to physical. And then the mercenary is also helping aid with the breaking of the physical. So now mobs that I could not hurt previously, they are just dropping as they should. So this one here, even though it has the damage reduction on it, I still can't hurt it. And it is also immune to cold. So this right here, we're just going to grab the Grand Chime and we're going to get the hell out of here. Because we don't have a damage type to deal with cold and physical immune, sadly. So that's where we do have a problem. Is if there's a mob that is both cold and physical immune, we will have issues with that. So if you look, right now, the current mobs that I have up, I have one dire wolf and 2 of my wolves possibly dead. So we have 2 wolves down, 2 dire wolves down. So that's about per the normal. You can stop and resummon them if you'd like. Right now, I'm kind of okay. I'm not really too concerned about it. If I lose all my wolves, I might stop and resummon. But the main thing is that my grizzly and my mercenary are still alive. They're going to be the main tanks for this character. So if they were both down, that would be a big problem. But since they're both still up and alive, then we're still pretty good here. So let's grab that through real quick, and we're going to go right down to Throne of Destruction here. Put in here. And zip right into this pack here. Some more hell witches. They're immune to cold. And then we'll go over this corner, clear this out real quick. It's a lot nicer to do the Baal runs now that they've reduced the time on the mob packs spawning. Now we're at the second pack here. Not much of an issue for the pack of mobs and everything that I have here. So as you can see, everything just kind of melts very quickly. I usually back out here. Now we got a little bit of downtime, so resummon my wolves and everything real quick here. Resummon this and resummon my grizzly to get them at full HP. And as you can see, I just put up my Cyclone armor as well. So now I have my Cyclone armor on. I don't need to port right now, so I can keep my Cyclone armor on my right click. So if I do receive any fire damage, I can just instantly reapply it. Blister just melted like nothing there. So now we can just advance on to Baal here. So now I'm going to put my port back on. I'm going to head over this way. And now, as you can see, I'm utilizing the tornado again. And Baal just seems to melt. And kind of just keep getting right on top of Baal. Just keep throwing the tornadoes down. And port it away, get back on top of them, throw it out again. I'm going to hold Cathos sword. Everyone, James here. I'd just like to thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you were able to get some insight out of the video that I provided here for the Druid class, whether it be you're new to Druid and you were looking for a build to play, or if you're a veteran seasoned Druid and maybe there's just a little bit of an additional insight that you needed for the class. Hopefully that provides something for you. If you guys haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like the content and like the video if this provided any kind of insight for you. Please feel free to drop any kind of commentary down below, whether it be negative or positive. That way I can improve upon these videos. And if you guys are looking for a community to join, please feel free to check out my Discord server. The link will be in the video description. And I also stream on Twitch over at twitch.tv/BostonAnk. So if you enjoy these videos, I'm sure you'll enjoy the live content as well. So please feel free to check me when I'm live. And I'd like to thank you guys so much again for watching.